What is up, guys, gals, and you awesome minions and gamers, different shapes and sizes? It is me, Smegion, Proxy, bringing you some Titanfall 2 today on the PlayStation 4, not the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is actually some older footage, as mentioned. Seems they were trying to get through standard PlayStation 4 footage and then doing PlayStation 4 Pro. I do apologize for that, but as you can probably tell, the PlayStation 4 version still looks fantastic. I think there's just like a little bit more coloring as well when it comes to the Pro version. You're going to probably notice that in the future. But remember to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and why not subscribe for more Titanfall 2 content in the future. But for now, let's kick some more ass in Titanfall 2, because, I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Remember to let me know as well what you think to Titanfall 2. Is it one of your go-to multiplayer games? Remember that Titanfall 2 does actually come with a campaign, which is pretty badass, and something really cool to note is that we're actually playing some more Legion today. I know a lot of people want me to try all the different Titans out, which I've done, but I thought maybe go back to Legion, show you a little bit more of that gameplay. Did I just get killed by a Spectre? I just got killed by a Spectre. That's kind of embarrassing, but do not worry, we do actually make up for it in this match. Obviously, I'm going to bring you really badass gameplay, but for now, let's keep going. So, one thing I want to mention is about Legion itself, and that is that it's a really cool Titan. As we already know, comes with that massive Gatling gun, loads of armor, but one thing they've actually done, which I mentioned in the last video, is that they've actually patched some of the Titans in the game along with some of the weapons. Now, when it comes to that, it's kind of interesting because I feel like they've patched some of the Titans in a very good way, but obviously that also comes with some negatives. We've seen that in other games like Evolve, where constantly the developer was always patching the game, and it was kind of making things a little bit unbalanced, I think, sometimes. And the interesting thing is that we're going to see here is what Legion was like before the patch, and I feel like now Legion's got into a little bit of a soft spot. Like, maybe it's not as powerful as it used to be. It still has a lot of like potential, like, especially when it comes to the damage output, and obviously one of the main reasons for it is to kind of like blockade like paths and stuff and be like that like frontline Titan. You know, it doesn't generally have to be the one in the back. It can be the one in the back, because obviously it has that ability to go long range with its Gatling guns, because it has 2 modes, which is really cool. But one thing that I think is a little bit of a downside now is that they've actually decreased the actual damage potential of the power shot. Now, the power shot, as you know, is the ability to actually press R1, and it actually does like a charged railgun blast. And there are 2 different versions of this. If you go into close range mode with your Gatling gun when you press triangle, it actually has the ability to push enemies back when you actually do that power shot. But if you do a long range shot, it actually has the ability to do damage to surrounding enemies that get hit by it, which is obviously really cool, really powerful. But they've ended up weakening it, and I don't know if that was really a good idea, because at the time of its kind of like the patch and everything, before the patch, should I say, the ability, or should I say the potential of it, was that it took a very long time for it to reload anyway. You had to actually like reload the ability, as we already know. But now you have that thing that it doesn't actually do that much damage, so you kind of don't really go to using it unless maybe the enemy's not looking at you. Originally, you'd kind of like use it, say, like Ion, where you'd kind of like fire it kind of like mid-off, which was kind of like the useful thing about it, where you could kind of like initiate with a power shot, but now you can't really do that, because it doesn't do that much damage, and you might as well just go into long range kind of mode with the Gatling gun and just keep firing at them. I don't know what everybody else's opinion of that. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, if you are actually using Legion, if you are a go-to Legion player like I am, because I love Legion. I really want to kind of like stand by it, but it is that kind of thing where now when you're playing as Legion, it feels like it's not doing as much damage output as, say, Tone, or even like, I wouldn't say Ion. I think Ion's been very good. So it's really funny because I do reference Evolve, obviously, because I'm a massive fan of Evolve. And it's this thing where I feel like Ion for Titanfall 2 is where Goliath in Evolve was, where it was always in a perfect spot, and it doesn't really need to be changed at all. It was so perfectly balanced, but that was obviously because it was the original monster. And obviously as well, I feel like Ion is kind of like the original Titan, because obviously it's the first Titan you play as, and it has this thing where it feels very all-arounder. It has really good damage output for what it is. You know, it doesn't feel too powerful, but it also doesn't feel too weak. And it always has that really awesome amount of like utility to it as well, with the shoulder laser cannon and also the trip mines and stuff. A lot of people are saying that the trip mines are actually very weak now because of the patch for Ion, but I'm not too sure. I will have to test that. I mean, from when I've been using like Ion recently, I find that it was kind of actually normal, kind of fine. One thing I will note too, though, is that, as you may notice here, I am actually shooting at a pilot, and I didn't kill them, but a lot of the times in pre-patch I was actually killing pilots with that Gatling gun. But now, which is actually kind of funny, is that I feel like I'm not actually doing that much damage with the Gatling gun on pilots too. I don't know if maybe that was intentional with the patch, I'm not too sure, but it feels a little bit like there isn't that much damage kind of like potential to human characters, and I don't really know why that is. You'd think that a giant bullet hitting a human player would probably hurt them quite a bit. I don't know, it's just kind of unusual. Like, I feel like there's just something off about it now, something because of that patch, and as you can probably tell from here, look, Legion's always been a really consistent damage dealer. Like, if you stay from a this is the thing, you have to stay from a distance when it comes to playing as Legion. Like, if you are really up close and personal, you have got a much better chance of the enemy team really hurting you, like, say, against Scorch or Ronin, which is kind of the point. But Legion has to be kind of like Northstar, I think, where it has to be really long range, kind of keep a distance, but also keeping that kind of thing where enemies won't try and go towards you. This is the thing, because if you have got enemies like a Scorch or a Ronin trying to get towards you while you are playing a Legion, you have that ability to try and use the range to your advantage with that long range Gatling gun mode to kind of like whoop some serious ass. Like, the whole point of Legion is to kind of be like a corridor like gatekeeper in a sense. So obviously you are kind of like the bouncer, you're the one like keeping the enemies out from going down that tunnel, but you have to be kind of far away to actually be beneficial about it. One of the main reasons being as well that you do actually have that little portable gun shield, as you've probably seen like me use countless times, where you press L1 and this little shield goes around your gun. Now, this doesn't actually cover the entirety of you, but if you do crouch, you can go into kind of like a Spartan kind of like arrowhead formation, kind of like protective thing, as you've probably seen in the 300 movie and stuff like that, which can make it quite useful for defensive positions and things, again, when you're going into long range mode against, say, like a Tone who has the portable shield and things. So you have actually got a lot of tactics when it comes to those abilities, but it's made it now so that Legion has to be very, very range-based to actually get anywhere ahead. Because obviously this was a really cool thing when it came to pre-patch Legion, was that you had the ability to go close range as well, but now it just feels like he's way more, she's more, it's more, so much more powerful long range. And I don't know what people's opinions of that. I would love to know in the comment section below, though. I would love to know. And also, what do people think to Titanfall 2 as kind of like a staying game in their kind of portfolio of games to play? I mean, I personally love the game. It's really good for pick up and playing, as we've always known about like Titanfall or even Titanfall 2, is that you don't really have that massive carrot on the end of the stick, but it's really good for a game where you can just like pick up like maybe one match, maybe two matches, then just turn it off and not really have to think about it. You don't have to feel like you're having to work towards something all the time, and maybe that kind of works in its favor while also working against it. This is something that I've said previously about the unlockables and things about, like, as you can see here as well, this is something I previously mentioned about that shield. If you actually go into crouch mode and even higher better rock and something, you've got so much protection when it comes to actually like holding ground, and it's so powerful. But one thing you're gonna notice here is actually going into close range mode, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something that kind of like doesn't benefit as much now. But here it's like super powerful, also using my ability core, which actually allows me to do smart bullets, where basically anything within that square actually kind of like tracks onto the enemy. It's so freaking awesome. Again, though, has a little bit of a downside when it comes to using the close range mode, or say the long range mode when it comes to the homing bullets, because you have to have people within your sight to actually kind of track them with the bullets, and it feels like there is just some kind of hampering with the abilities. It is so odd. But either way, back to that kind of like chat about the actual kind of like, what was I talking about? About the customizations and such. There's just so much to talk about, and you get so lost in it, don't you think? Oh my goodness. That's the great thing about Titanfall 2, though, is that there are so many kind of like areas to cover, and there's so much to talk about, that you always have a conversation. I think that's fantastic, especially for this channel, that we can actually talk about the game and actually have like those little bit of a conversation about it, and have those opinions. Would love to know yours as well, because as you know, I love them. I will probably be spotlighting those a little bit more in the future as well, so if you do want to see your comments show up in the videos, I would love to hear all about your kind of opinions of the game. Maybe I'll do some spotlight comment videos and stuff like that, so you can actually have like a focused comment to talk about, because we did that in the Ratchet and Clank videos, and you really like doing those, so I'll probably do this for Titanfall as well. But when it comes to those customizations and things, oh, here we go. So this is a really cool thing. So when players actually lock onto you with those kind of like homing missile pod launcher things, you can actually turn around, activate your shield, and block it, which I think is really cool. So people must get like really like excited. They're gonna do so much freaking damage to you, but then you can activate that shield at the last second when turning around and block it, and it is so badass. You can do that as well with Ion's Vortex Shield and fire it back. You may remember that it was actually called Rocket Tennis. It was actually a special kind of like kill streak badge that I made in the original Titanfall. I'll try and do those again in the future, but I think it's really badass. I thought it was a really cool thing. And again, anyway, so when it comes to the customizations, one really thing that's awesome is that you don't really have this like constant need to try and like grind for things. Like, I think this is something that Call of Duty's done like a little bit now with the whole like, you have to get keys. Obviously you have to get keys now, then go into the barracks or the quartermaster, and then you unlock like a chest of like skins and different guns per 10 keys or something. And obviously that means that you have to kind of like work towards something to be like like capable, I would say, because that means that everyone's gonna have like better guns than you and stuff. So in a way, it's not really paid to win, I guess, because obviously you can grind for it, and it's kind of like an enjoyable grind because still all the guns in Call of Duty are quite viable, and so it doesn't really matter. But what Titanfall 2's been able to do is make it so you're just kind of like leveling and battling for skins, and obviously skins don't really do much. Oh my goodness, Legion just got completely pwned by Ronin. Don't do that! Oh, I got shish kebabbed. And it seems that my pallet died as well, which is very, very emotional. That's something that happens, though. It's just part of the draw, part of the bad luck. You know, sadly, I didn't take my 3-leaf clover with me. Or was it a 4-leaf clover? 4-leaf clover is the clucky one, right? I think it is. Did I just say clucky? I think I was supposed to say lucky. But, again, so it's this really cool thing where, like, you don't have to really worry when playing Titanfall because you have everything in front of you. And you do have that ability as well to actually, like, level up and gain weapons and things per level. But you also have the in-game currency. And the fantastic thing is that you actually gain in-game currency quite well. Now, you don't gain it from, say, like, bounty, which would be a really cool idea where maybe you could actually like make money in bounty to actually go towards your credits in the customization screen. I think that'd be a really cool idea. But for what you actually get per match, I think you might get maybe about 5 credits per match, maybe, possibly, potentially, or maybe even lower than that. But it's that thing where like everything has such a low credit requirement. Like I think it's maybe about like $75 credits for a robot skin, like a gun skin. It's 100 for a robot like body skin. Then for a pilot, it's like 50, which is really good and quite kind of accessible when it comes to the cash amounts. But then say if you want to buy like a gun, the gun, so you can kind of like skip ahead and say you're actually level 1, but you used to be really, really good with the like the original old SMG, as you know, it wasn't called like the R7 or something in Titanfall 1. That's actually the last submachine gun you get now in Titanfall 2, and I think you have to be like level 44 or 45 to get it. But what you can actually do is, I think if you get 100 credits, you can actually just unlock that instantly, which is really, really awesome. But it also has that thing where it doesn't feel like a massive grind. Like, just play a few matches, you know, and just do quite well at them, and you will get those credits in no time. It's not that kind of thing where you have to get the keys, you know, you have to be really awesome. Increase kind of like, this is the thing, because Titanfall 2 does this, but Call of Duty does it a little bit worse, where you have 2 different kind of, or maybe even 3 kind of like level up abilities. So kind of like you have your thing where you have to level up the pilot, you have to level up the gun, you have to level up the Titan. And that can be a little bit annoying, obviously, because it means you've got all of these different kind of like color schemes to unlock and things. But the thing that kind of like worked against you in Call of Duty is that you had to kind of like unlock, you have to like level up the key kind of thing, you have to level up the scrap thing, which obviously allows you to kind of like unlock new guns and things, and then you also had your player level, which unlocked guns, so you had so many kind of levels to unlock to actually get like useful guns, that it kind of works against you, and it makes you kind of feel like there's a lot of work to it, and you don't want that. And so Titanfall 2 does actually have that thing where you can level up, but you're just getting skins for the guns, and you're obviously casually like unlocking guns, but the guns that you have like from the get-go are so powerful and so useful that anybody playing the game can handle anything. As you can see here, I'm using the assault rifle and I'm whooping some serious ass with it. And this is just with the first assault rifle. Like, there are some good guns in this game. Some of the assault rifles later on are very powerful, but they don't really play or cater to my own playstyle. And so it's that really cool thing where you can use the first assault rifle, which a lot of people do, and you just benefit from it. You can still be really capable and really powerful. But what is your opinion? Comment section below, would love to know. You may notice that we are playing Bounty Hunter, and I actually have a 910 credits. That's so much, and I'm not cashing in. Remember, when it comes to Bounty Hunter, do not do what I do and not cash in. I'm actually a little bit greedy when it comes to my money. I'm a bit of a massive hoarder, and I like to try and turn the tide of battle by then cashing it all in at the last second. You may notice that we're actually cashing a lot of... Wait, how are you actually cashing in a lot of money there? That was kind of weird. But I think you actually, like, gain money, like, passively from killing enemy players and things, and it adds to your kind of, like, your overall, like, score count. I'm not too sure. There's actually a rocket flying right at me there. Sadly, I did not actually have the shield to activate, but I do actually have my shield to look after me from, obviously, the battery power core thing, which is really cool. I think that's something that's really, really awesome in this game, is that you can actually like get those batteries from enemy Titans and things, and then give your own Titan its own battery. Like, this is something that I actually do in Titanfall 2 in general when it comes to my boost abilities, is using the battery boost, which is really awesome, because it means that you can activate that battery boost, and then give it to a friendly Titan, or you can actually give it to your own, and obviously give yourself a shield, or if you give it to a friendly Titan, you can actually get your Titan a lot faster by contributing, which is really good, again, for teamwork and stuff. But those boosts are really helpful, just really, really awesome, again, for kind of like catering to you as a player. I just got a freaking double kill there, which is badass. Over 1,000 credits! That is payday today. I'm gonna rapid clap for that one. Could we actually gain the win here for my team by cashing all this in? I might be able to do it. Oh, so very close. Maybe you do actually gain a bonus when you cash in all of your money as well, but it seems I was just a little bit off. 4,900 plus 2, 5,000. That was so close. Trying to wail on this enemy pilot, though, as he tries to run away from me. I have found that there are so many pilots in this game that really try and rush at you. They get so brave, so freaking brave, they think, I can take down a tile at, you know, at face-to-face confrontation. It just, you're not getting away from me today. No, 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 no. You may have noticed that a pilot did actually jump onto the back of me and steal my core. Now, when that happens and you're wearing a shield, one thing to remember is that you will not actually lose all your health, which is really good. You'll just lose the majority of your shield, which is very, very helpful for, say, like, counteracting the rodeo, because one thing that's really annoying, obviously, for Titans is when a pilot jumps onto your back and tries to steal your core, and when they do, you lose a lot of health. But if you do actually have a shield, they actually take a lot of your shield away from you instead of your health. So make sure if you are able to actually get a battery, it's really good if you feel like you're always getting rodeoed. It's very, very helpful for that kind of like sense. So something that's a really good tip, I think, is always make sure you do at least have some form of battery. Maybe the battery boost is the best ability to go for. What is your go-to ability though when it comes to the boost skills? Would love to know in the comment section below. Now, this is actually a little bit bad idea as well. We actually have one. We're actually going to have taken down some enemies here. He has actually popped his electric smoke, which is going to damage me so freaking much. I'm actually trying to use my smart core abilities to finish him off, which was really, really powerful. But sadly, I was taken down by an enemy tone with that freaky. Look at all those rockets he fired at me. He was able to lock onto me with with his like missile pod thing, but also do his finisher. And this is something that's actually really, really cool about Tone 2, is that you can actually lock on to, say, if you had like 5 Titans in front of you on the enemy team, and they all have red crosshairs on them from firing at all of them, or by doing the homing tracker missile pod thing, you can actually like fire rapid missiles at all of them, like continuously to 5 Titans instead of just having to recharge it, which is very, very capable of damage. There is so much potential when it comes to using Tone, as you saw there. So many rockets can be fired. But it has been me, Josh, again, Proxy, bring you some Titanfall 2 today. Remember to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and why not subscribe for more Titanfall 2 gameplay in the future. But I will see you all next time. Would love to know your opinion on the comment section below, or what you thought of the game. But I will see you all next time. Ciao for now.